Well, good morning. Let me give the title and the blurb, and then I have a couple of messages to read that I received on yesterday's video, and some things to share with you. The title is Peaceful Interludes Interrupt the Chaos. Yesterday was challenging for me. From the time I got up before 1 a.m., I had to fight with my computer that was being very unresponsive. I'm talking about my desktop. I recorded my video at 3:33 on my laptop and then began the arduous process of updating Windows, 33 important updates in all. They had to be done one at a time, and most required a reboot upon completion. It took over 4 hours, but I got the job done, or I got it done, except for one update that will not load. I managed to get a short nap in the early afternoon and turned out the lights to go to bed for the evening around 9 p.m. Something seemed to land on me at that time, forcing me to make numerous trips to the bathroom throughout the night into the early morning hours. As I lay there trying to get some sleep, I was blessed with interludes of peace, a fairly long one just before I finally got out of bed to come to the computer. I did not really want to get up, it felt so good. As usual, I share my own experience. Each of you will hear that according to your own filters and beliefs. And that last sentence is why I'm reading 2 separate emails, both arriving yesterday in regard to the previous video, which was who's who and what's what. The first one is actually posted as a comment on YouTube or Google Plus, I guess. I don't know how that all works. But anyway, the person leaves out the I'm and starts with the verb. Tired of you telling me my belief system comes from the pit of hell. Tired of you telling me my Herculean effort to get past hating and finally releasing all that twisted judgment is evil. Tired of you holding up your own indignation as the only indignation against what rots. Tired of your finger wagging lectures. Tired of your blistering assault against light and love on a daily basis. Tired of you thinking you are the only one that's asked, begged, pleaded for the personal, miraculous power to get on with healing this place. Tired of you thinking you are the only one deserving of it. Well, there were several things in there that I don't agree with, but that was somebody's expression. Here's another one. Greetings, Ron. I'm a big fan. I don't often write notes to people, but I felt compelled to reach out. I just wanted to extend my thanks to you for all your incredible messages. They've really inspired me. There are only 2 public figures I trust, you and Jay Essex. It was a lonely time for me up until I realized that 2 other gentlemen understood that it was possible to emerge victorious by engaging the enemy in both a material and spiritual manner. Over time, you guys brought that concept home for me even more so, and I'm grateful. Your ability to cut through the nonsense and explain things as they are with great clarity has woken me up more than anyone. And Jay's insights simply leave me speechless. That man is a treasure. I occasionally wonder if you 2 were separated at birth, since you both so powerfully radiate everything the system seeks to destroy. And I've joked to myself a few times that a conversation between both of you could instantly dissolve the Matrix. Ha ha. Anyway, all your videos this past year have kept me motivated to stay engaged in the fight against criminality, as well as to remain strong when things seem dark. My sincere thanks for your tireless efforts to wake people up and wage a war on ignorance, the cause that's closest to my heart. You are a blessing to humanity, and to this beautiful planet. Also, if there's a specific video you'd like shared with a fairly large group of individuals, I will gladly share it. Very kind regards, Daniel. And that was actually from my Facebook fan page, which I don't always check those emails on a regular basis like I do my regular wall, my regular messages, although even some of those seem to slip through the cracks from time to time. Anyway, two completely different points of view. I don't think I'm the only one that deserves, and my prayers over and over again are for the people, are for humanity. That's how I pray. I don't pray much for myself. But as I said at the beginning of the blurb, yesterday was another challenging day for me. Yes, it took over 4 hours to update things. I tried to do it in small groups, but it would never work. It would always, the update would always fail. So I had to take them one at a time and go through. And sometimes they failed, but then when I went back again, I was able to get them through. So I don't know why it worked that way, but all but one managed to go through without being kicked back out, like the one, and I got to write that number down and find out what's in that one that will not allow it to update and be registered in the computer. But my computer, after I did that, worked a heck of a lot better. So it was worth the monotonous job of booting and rebooting and taking one at a time and going through the process. Each one took 10 or 15 minutes, I think, on average. Although, you know, I didn't actually measure it, but I would say it's something like that. Anyway, as I said, my only meal yesterday was pizza that I ate for lunch, and then I went and I got about an hour and a half sleep in the early afternoon, but then got back up and started working on the meta groups, the community calendar that I have to do, and this is the beginning of a new month. So there was quite a bit of work, and I got my video back up at on Facebook at what, 5:30 to quarter to 6, sometime in that time frame, because I had completely lost track of the time. Of course, my daughter says I'm lazy and I don't do anything, but except sit at the computer all day. Yeah, I do sit at the computer a lot. Anyway, as I said, I went to bed I didn't feel bad when I went to bed, but immediately my stomach started churning and churning. And as I said, numerous times. I mean, it had to be more than 10 times until I finally got out of bed. It was mostly between up until early morning hours, midnight, 1 o'clock. I was getting up like every 20 minutes or so to go to the bathroom again. And it was just liquid coming out, just clear. At the end, it's just clear liquid. I mean, I don't have much solid. I didn't eat much solid food yesterday except for 3 slices of pizza and some tropical pineapple, dehydrated pineapple. And of course, always a few pieces of candy, dark chocolate. Anyway, for whatever reason, when it first started hitting me and I had to keep getting up, I was thanking God for the purging of my body, because that's how I choose to interpret things. My body was being purged. By the way, I do take colon cleanse, although it has never worked in this manner before, where it's just been liquid coming out of my butt. Excuse me for being so graphic, but that's the reality. And I was welcoming the purge. And as I said, there were up until the time that I forced a vomit, and I vomited twice, but not very much, just a little bit of phlegm and liquid, really. It was, but I felt better after the first time that I did that. I actually felt better and got the longest period of rest, maybe an hour and a half. Although I woke up again with the stomach churning, and as I said, just before I got out of bed, which was after 4 o'clock, I had a real nice interlude of peace. And I mean, I just laid there with a smile on my face, thanking God for feeling that grace, or having that grace in the midst of all the discomfort that I had to go through yesterday. And for all of us, there is discomfort. There is a lot of challenge happening, especially among humans that want to do the right thing and want to change the world. And I don't mean to be putting people's beliefs down, but as I see it, and it's only as I see it, if we could all get together and stand up and let our voices be heard, that the system as it exists is unacceptable, we could change things much quicker. But so many people, like the first letter writer, who is tired of me pointing my finger at everybody and knocking his belief system, and nobody has to watch any of my videos. That's a choice you make. I don't force anybody, neither could I. If I wanted to, I couldn't force people to watch my videos. But in any case, I was in that belief system. That's not something that was foreign to me. If you go back to my videos in 2011 and even probably 2012, and I haven't done that myself, but if you were to go back and listen to them, I think you'd find me being much more optimistic overall than I've been, especially at points in time this year, in 2014, because it seems I expected the positive changes to be manifested in 2011, and that didn't happen in 2012. And so I began to really look at my life. And unlike a lot of people, I've been confronted by police and tried to do the things that I learned to no avail. I spent earlier this year in September a night in jail. My first ever night in jail. I was in a cage before getting out. I realized that not just me, but humanity is imprisoned. I had evidence of the physical cage that I was being held in against my will. So people that are trying to just maintain positiveness by ignoring the real problems that we face, to me, have no credibility. I've been there. I'm not just pointing a finger at where other people are. I'm pointing a finger at where I personally have been myself, because I wanted to believe that we could change the world without taking any action, that all we had to do was think positive thoughts and bless and express gratitude, and somehow God was going to therefore be able to resonate the world in such a way that the bad stuff would just stop happening. I'm sorry. I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening in my own life, and I can only share from where I actually am, from what I'm experiencing, and from the feelings and the thoughts that I wrestle with in my chaotic development to try to raise my consciousness to a higher level, not only for myself, which is what I think most people, it's very selfish that most people don't consider what their action or lack of action does to affect the collective, the whole of humanity. And I weigh the whole of humanity in it, because I take time to talk with people that are going through tremendous challenges. I'm not going to name the people that I talk to, but there's a number of people that I talk to on a fairly regular basis, and virtually all of them are stressed at various levels. And the niceties of the spiritual belief system don't work for them, and virtually all of them have come to the place of recognizing that just thinking positive thoughts does not make the pain go away, does not make the suffering end, does not really change even in their own lives, even though they may, like me, have interludes of peace, because God is gracious and the universe does bestow grace upon us. But nevertheless, the problems, the seemingly insurmountable problems, continue. But I continue to do videos every day because I don't want to lose heart. It keeps me focused on telling the truth. It keeps me focused on sharing my experience, because there's always going to be somebody that it speaks to positively. Even if you have people that may unfriend me and stop listening, and then if they want to do that, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. We're each doing the best we can with what we have, and that's what I encourage everyone to do. It's not about somebody being right and everybody else being wrong. But we do have a tendency when we communicate to say this is what works for me and this didn't work for me. And that's what I do. And the Course in Miracles and some of that stuff doesn't work for me. I ran into one of the local Course in Miracles teacher who actually was in my house on one occasion, and I thought she was the biggest hypocrite that I've ever had in any of my meetings, because she couldn't see how she was separating herself from everything in the world she didn't like. And I ran into her in the store the other night, and when I came out, she was parked in a fire lane. She had gone in and done her shopping, parking in a fire lane, and I thought, well, it's just like her, you know. And yeah, judgment, just like her. She doesn't even obey the rules. She thinks she's more important and is allowed to park right in front of the store, even though it's a no parking zone, and she got away with it. You know, these are the things that I deal with every day, and I'm being really honest. So anyway, I leave you with these thoughts, and I'm grateful for the peace. I want to get some rest today. I mean, I did not get hardly any sleep last night. Even the times that I had the peaceful interludes, I was in that between sleep and wake state at those times, and I really didn't get good rest at all. So I'm going to try to do that here today. Of course, I have to take my grandkids to school today, so I have to wait till after that. But anyway, thank you for listening. And for those of you that are insulted by the things I say, that's not my intention. I appreciate the fact that you're willing to think about it, those of you that are. And those of you that aren't and want to stop, that's your choice. Anyway, God bless each of you. Namaste.